Join us on a whimsical journey through the hidden tales and mysterious lives of the lesser-known inhabitants of the Magic the Gathering universe. In our enchanting podcast, we'll delve deep into the realms of imagination, uncovering secrets and spinning fantastical yarns that will leave you spellbound. So grab your soul rings, buckle up, and get ready for an adventure unlike any other. Welcome to the Multiverse Memoirs. Dominaria, a realm steeped in sorcery and strife, bore witness to a curious culinary caper, the tale of Asmoranomardicadaistinaculdacar, a mage of no little renown and a cook of unparalleled talent. Asmor, as she was more commonly known, found herself embroiled in a most unusual duel, a duel not of wands or words, but of whisks and wocks. Her opponent, a lord of the pit, a creature of infernal appetites by the name of Vincent. The details of this duel are shrouded in the fog of legend. Some say it arose from a disagreement over the merits of a particularly rare cheese. Others that Vincent, a gourmand of the grotesque, had dared Asmor to concoct a dish that could sate his otherworldly palate. Whatever the impetus, Asmor found herself facing a being whose hunger was as boundless as the infernal depths he hailed from. With a flick of her wrist and a muttered incantation, Asmor might have summoned forth a battalion of fire elementals or a tempestuous djinn. But on this occasion, prudence prevailed over panache. Instead, with a sigh that could curdle ogre milk, she offered herself as Vincent's chef, a culinary contract for 7 years and 7 days. The kitchens of hell, one imagines, are not for the faint of stomach. Yet Asmor, ever the resourceful mage, conjured forth a symphony of flavors that would have made angels weep, tears of delight, no doubt. Each meal, a masterpiece in miniature, a testament to her prodigious talents. Vincent, a creature accustomed to devouring souls and stewing sinners, found himself captivated by the sheer audacity of Asmor's creations. As their infernal culinary odyssey neared its end, Vincent, in a rare display of sentimentality, offered Asmor a permanent position as his own personal chef. But Asmor, with a yearning for the sunlit climes of Dominaria, politely declined. A bargain, however, had been struck. In exchange for her freedom, Asmor would compile her infernal recipes, a cookbook that would tantalize taste buds and terrify traditionalists in equal measure. Thus was birthed the infamous Underworld Cookbook, a tome filled with recipes that would make a troll blush and a goblin gag. Here one could find instructions for roasting phoenix feathers à l'orange, salads featuring baby kraken tentacles, and a particularly creative use for the tears of a weeping willow, dessert one presumes. Alas, the Underworld Cookbook was destined to be a commercial catastrophe. Only 2 copies found buyers, Vincent himself no doubt eager to relive his culinary sojourn, and Asmor's dear old mother, a woman with a surprisingly adventurous palate. Dejected, Asmor consigned the remaining copies to the flames, a fiery end for a cookbook that had failed to ignite the public's imagination. Fate has a taste for the absurd. The imps tasked with incinerating the books, creatures notorious for their indolence, opted for a shortcut. Instead of the fiery furnace, they tossed the cookbooks down a garbage chute, a portal that deposited them, miraculously unscathed, in the mortal realm. Here, the cookbooks fell into the hands of adventurous chefs and thrill-seeking gourmands. The recipes, once destined for the fiery kitchens of hell, became the hottest culinary trend in Dominaria's high courts. Ogres, once considered lumbering oafs, were now hunted for their succulent rumps. Gargoyles, previously relegated to guarding Gothic cathedrals, were now prized for their resemblance to a particularly flavoursome cut of veal. As for the throat wolves, well, let's just say their population numbers took a nosedive. This newfound appreciation for the creatures Asmor had immortalized in her cookbook did not sit well with the aforementioned creatures. They, the once hunted, were now the hunted, their days filled with a gnawing fear of ending up on someone's dinner plate. With a vengeance that only the eternally damned can muster, they vowed to track down Asmor and make her pay dearly for her culinary transgressions. Faced with this monstrous manhunt, Asmor decided to appease the vengeful creatures with a peace offering, a new cookbook, a sequel to the infamous Underworld Cookbook. This time, however, the recipes would feature the hunters as the main course. 1001 Ways to Prepare Elf promised the enticing title, followed by a chapter dedicated to the finer points of grilling goblin princes and stewing dwarven councillors. Even elven aristocrats were not spared Asmor's macabre menu. Whether this new cookbook would satiate the monstrous hordes or merely fan the flames of their fury remained to be seen. Asmor, with a mischievous glint in her eye and a well-worn spatula in hand, simply shrugged. After all, in the grand culinary game of Dominaria, the only certainty was that the next course would be anything but ordinary.